Please tell us your name and what are you running for?
Yeah, my name is Abdul. I'm running for U.S. Senate.
Your first question, why are you the best person to represent Ottawa County in the United States Senate?
Yeah, look, here in Ottawa County, you've got a couple of things that are critical. Number one, you literally sit on our Great Lakes, and I have a record that has focused on cleanliness of the Great Lakes, taking Line 5 out of our Great Lakes and standing up for our air, water, and soil. But then I also think that, sometimes in communities like these, we forget that there are communities that get disregarded, ignored in our politics. And we're running a campaign that's based on building out the space where working people can come up and fight and be a part of something that's bigger than our politics have been for a very long time. And in Ottawa County in particular, in a community that has been ignored too often by the Democratic Party, I know what that's like to be ignored by our politics. And so we're building a movement that folks can step in and be a part of. And I think if we succeed, it's going to be because folks in communities like this one stand up and see themselves represented in our politics for the first time, decide to get involved. We always forget, right, in red versus blue, the folks who are most likely in our politics are people who don't vote at all. And we're hoping to offer something because of our focus on working people, because of our focus on the affordability of everyday life, because of our focus on guaranteeing people health care, because of our focus on taking corrupting money out of politics, that folks who usually sit on the couch show up to be a part of. And I think that's going to be critical for communities like Ottawa County.
We have historically been a red district, though we trend almost 2 points blue in last election. What made you decide to come here to an event in Ottawa County?
Well, first of all, y'all doing the work, so that's amazing. Second, this is just an amazing barbecue, and I'm grateful to be around folks who have like-minded perspectives. I'll also tell you this, that too often in communities like this one, people will vote a particular way because they don't see themselves represented in their politics. And too often, when it comes to the Democratic Party, unfortunately, our politics are too interested in, or our party's too interested in, making sure that we can get a corporate PAC check and then find a message that triangulates between the corporation that just funded our campaign and the voters we're trying to talk to, which leaves us saying nothing at all because it's somewhere in the middle. I don't take corporate PAC money. I never have and I never will. And that leaves me in a position to actually have honest, direct, very specific conversations about what I think is wrong and what I think we can do about it. We're running a campaign based on a very simple set of things. Number one, we want to take money out of politics that allows us to put more money in people's pockets because we're actually standing up to the corporations that have rigged our system for too long. And then number three, we need to pass Medicare for all. And I think that kind of message in a community like this one is the kind that can win. So I've come out both to listen and understand the challenges that folks are facing, but also to have a conversation about what our politics could be like if we're willing to actually pay attention to the pain in people's lives and what we can do about it.
If elected, how would you support the Latino community here in West Michigan?
Yeah, well, most people think I'm Latino, so there's that. Look, I know what it's like to be a child of immigrants. I know what it's like to be told that you don't belong here. I know what it's like to be afraid of what might happen because of the circumstances of your life, to be called other than 100% American. And so with somebody like me, you're getting somebody who both understands the experience of being told that somehow because of the color of your skin or because of where your family came from, that you're not somehow fully and 100% American. But number two, I've been very clear about the role that immigration plays in our lives. We can both protect our southern border and stand up for an America where we know that immigration has been one of the most important boons for our society. And so as somebody who understands that experience and has been willing to be direct about how important immigration needs to be, I think I offer something in this movement for Latino voters and frankly, all voters who believe that America is this incredible place where people of all stripes can come together and make the whole greater than the sum of its parts. And so folks believe in that kind of America, whether you're Latino or you're not. I hope that folks will join this movement because I'm not afraid to talk about what the challenges are. I'm not afraid to say words like immigration. I'm not afraid to talk about the ways that unfortunately President Trump is using the topic of immigration to completely destroy and decimate ideals that we've held for a very long time, whether it's the rule of law or protection of due process or habeas corpus against everyday folk. And so, we're talking about it, and I think we got an opportunity to lead on it, and I hope that our campaign can be a part of that.
Our last question. What do you think the Democrat Party should learn from the Zohran Mamdani's historic primary win in New York City?
Yeah, that if you're willing to talk about the issues that matter, if you're willing to go everywhere and talk to everyone, if you're willing to be honest about your ideals and not pretend that somehow what matters most is what some corporate donor thinks, but instead be focused on the folks that you get to see eye to eye, that you can win elections in ways that people don't expect. The thing that I think is probably the most telling from that election, obviously this is Michigan, it's a different place, but they were able to flip the electorate, right? The proportion of young people who came out to vote was so much higher than in almost any other election we've seen. And that's because they were speaking to the issues that young people are worried about most. That's what this campaign is about. We don't pull our punches. We talk specifically about the challenges that are holding young people back, whether it's the fact that like nobody I know under the age of 40 can believe that they'll ever own a house, right? A lot of folks are stuck paying student debt decades into their lives. You're worried about whether or not you can afford the basic means of a dignified life. You're worried about AI and the implications it's going to have for your life, or social media and how it's like robbed you of your social circle in any real way. Those are issues that people want us to be talking about, but they don't often see represented in their politics. We're not afraid to talk about them because we actually want to solve them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to the Ottawa Dem Picnic.
Appreciate that.
And nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.